Alright everyone, so today I'm going to tell you how to conserve disk space in Mac OS X. Particularly useful if you're using a laptop. Right here I have my 60 gig stock Apple hard drive, the Seagate, that came with my MacBook. And of note, this is running firmware version 7.01. I don't know if that's going to compress very well, but this particular drive right here, reports have been cropping up that this particular Seagate drive will crap out on you unexpectedly when you don't want it to happen. So anyone with these Seagate drives, I would suggest you back up, and hopefully Apple's going to do a recall on these things, because the drive heads will fail. It'll fly off the spindle, and yeah, it'll gouge your data. So, you can go to Apple Insider or MacRumors.com and check all that out for yourself. And just to fill you in on the MacBook issues on the hard drive, Seagates. Here's what they were talking about: the head coming into contact with the platter, and it's going to gouge it out for you. So this story is on Apple Insider. I'll post a link to it also. And that's what's going to happen to your data if you're running one of these awesome Seagate drives. My normal drive is Toshiba, I believe. That's my 120 gig drive. So hopefully Apple will issue a recall, do the right thing, and swap out everyone's drive. And if you're running the Seagate, just back up. That's all I can say. But while your hard drive's still functioning, if you want to save disk space, so I'm going to show you. We'll go into the applications folder, and the way that Mac OS X comes default packaged is right now they're on Leopard, on Intel versions of Mac OS, on Tiger 10.4. Everything comes default bundled as a universal binary, and in addition to that, everything ships with a bunch of language files that you don't really need. So I'm going to show you how to strip away those two things, and hopefully save up some disk space. Now we'll use iCal as an example here. Right now, as a universal binary by default, it's consuming about 24 megabytes of disk space. And as you can see here, we have all sorts of languages that no one's ever going to really need. So what you can do is come down and select, and what we can do is hit remove. It's going to do a confirmation dialog. Why not? And it'll send those language files to the trash. Okay? And continuing the process, what we can do here is select the finished language files, scroll all the way down to Chinese, hold down the shift key, click it, hit remove, confirm it, and all we're left with now is the English language files. Scroll up, okay? So English and iCal. So just by trimming out the language files from the application bundle, we went from 24 megabytes to 10 megabytes on disk. Okay, and that's a really good savings right there. Okay, so you can empty the trash now, because those folders and files and strings are still in the trash can. So you can say yes, it's going to empty the trash, and start up iCal, and it still works. So you still have at least your English menus and the buttons and the settings. So everything works like that. Okay, so that's just one part to saving yourself disk space. Second part is what we want to do is trim away the non-native object code that's inside the application. So we're still dealing with a universal binary, and that just means that this thing is going to run natively right now on PowerPC or Intel, and they do it by packing in all the bits for both architectures in the application bundle. If you want to get rid of that, then what you need to do is perform a quick little Google search. Go to Safari, new tab, and in the Google box just type this in: trim the fat, all one word. Okay, come down here, and the very first link that shows up, .mac homepage. Okay, and come on down, and there's your trim the fat file. Comes in as a zip file, so save it to wherever you like. Decompress it and then drag it over to your applications, and it's a very simple application. It does the job. So double click it, and right up here it's going to say drag a universal binary here to trim. Okay, now before I start trimming my my universal binaries, what I do is I go into the preferences menu, and just for myself, because I'm comfortable with this app, I normally trim the applications in place. So that means it'll just strip out the, well, in my case it'll strip out the PowerPC code, and it won't create a backup. Now if you're not sure if you're spending $1,000 on Photoshop or $1,200 on Final Cut, the suite, you know, sometimes they might throw in a DRM to check the and it'll do some checks on the application to make sure it's not tampered with, to make sure you're not pirating it. So if you're spending money on your applications, you might want to play it safe and create a new trimmed application. So it'll create a copy of the trimmed application, but it'll keep your original universal binary in check. Right? So but me, I never had any problems, so I just trim everything in place. Okay, and I just keep everything else the same. I hit OK. Come back up, and it's very simple. Do the drag, bring it on top, and I saved 2.38 megs. Okay, so not too much. And if we do the get info now, you'll see a change from a universal to an Intel application. So we went from 24 megabytes down to about 8 megabytes. So I don't know, a savings of what, 67%? 60, yeah, 2/3. So that's pretty good. So that's just one of the things I like to do, because hard drive space is at a premium on laptops. At least now they are. So just a few quick notes though. For example, now every time that they push out a software update to like iTunes, QuickTime, iPhoto, iDVD, and you're going to have to repeat the process all over again, because it'll overwrite. It won't just update, it overwrites the entire installation, so you get a brand new iTunes, which means you'll get a brand new universal version of iTunes. So you're going to have to retrim it, and you're also going to have to pull out the language files again. So just one thing to keep in mind when you're doing this for yourself, okay? So yeah, hopefully that'll save you the disk space, back up your data, and enjoy. Alright, peace.